Everyone says Shen Shuyan got insanely lucky by marrying into the top tier of the legal world. He got the famous ice queen Qin Wanying, but bro, they have absolutely no idea what's happening.
Outside, she is incredibly calm.
A top-tier attorney charging millions per lawsuit, but once she comes home, she turns into a clingy, spoiled baby.
She is literally a human koala wanting to cling to our main character, Shen Shuyan, 24/7.
This poor guy is just a quiet history teacher, and his wife's wild, endless passion is low-key driving him crazy. But then boom, she hits a massive crisis and suddenly treats him colder than literal ice. That is when he realizes that living without his clingy wife is actually a total nightmare. Our doctor literally tells him, "Mr. Shen, let me repeat, your physical exam report is flawless." He pushes up his glasses, staring at him like he is looking at some literal monster. Let me say it again, Mr. Shen. Your entire health report is absolutely 100% perfect. Every single organ is at peak performance, and your kidney function is especially strong.
It is way too strong for a regular university teacher sitting in an office all day.
You look more like a pro athlete, while Shen Shuyan just sits there looking dead inside. He face palms hard, feeling like his entire world is about to collapse on him. On the verge of tears, he begs, "But I am telling you, doctor, I cannot do this anymore." I feel completely drained, and my dazed mind cannot take it.
I am literally messing up historical dates during class, and if this keeps going, I suspect I am going to die young.
The doctor taps his desk, his voice getting dead serious. "Mr. Shen, listen. Your definition of struggling and what my report shows are completely different. They are clearly not the same thing, so what exactly do you mean by your body being hollowed out?" Shen Shuyan takes a deep breath, lowering his voice like he is about to face execution. "Doctor."
I am married, and the truth is, my wife is just way too passionate.
The doctor blinks in surprise. Passionate? A healthy marriage life is usually a great thing. Most people only wish they had that, but Shen Shuyan nearly jumps out of his seat. This is not harmony.
This is a one-sided demand, a brutal double oppression of both my mind and body.
He asks if the doctor knows his wife, Qin Wanying, and the doctor instantly gasps in realization. The legendary ice rose of the legal world, Qin Wanying? Of course he has heard of her. She is on television all the time, looking incredibly calm and professional. Her aura is insanely powerful, and his distant cousin's business actually hired her once. She handled their case with absolute ruthless efficiency, which was totally legendary to watch. Shen Shuyan slaps his thigh. Yes, exactly. Everyone outside thinks she is an icy queen.
But who would ever guess that behind closed doors, she is actually a literal active volcano? The kind that is ready to erupt at any second. And his mind immediately starts wandering back. His brain uncontrollably flashes back to last night when he walked into the bedroom with a glass of warm milk after lesson prep. He was just looking forward to a quiet, peaceful half-hour of reading before sleep. But the moment he opens the door, a slender, gorgeous, pale leg slides out. It reaches right out from behind the door and wraps tightly around his waist. Right after, her whole body clings onto him, the exact same woman who always wears elite designer suits in public. Walking in high heels and silencing her legal opponents with just a single cold, powerful glare. But right now, she is wearing nothing but his white shirt, clinging onto him like an absolute octopus. Her warm breath tickles his ear, and her voice gets so sweet and soft as she calls out to him, "Hubby, you are finally back. I have been waiting for you forever," which makes him shake and almost spill the milk. He frantically tries to steady the glass, pleading with her to please be reasonable. "Please get down," he stammers, "since I still have early classes tomorrow." So she starts nuzzling his neck like a clingy little cat, whispering that she knows. Then she suggests they turn in early, and trust me, she puts a massive emphasis on that word. But let's be real, what happens next is definitely not what anyone would call resting. It turns into a straight-up, wild, absolute marathon of a battle with zero logic. By the time it's finally over, our poor history teacher feels like he just ran a marathon. Meanwhile, she is built different, fully charged like a perpetual motion machine, staring at him with glowing eyes. Like she wanted round 2. At this point, he is just covering his face in agony, begging his doctor for help.
He asks the doctor if they can even comprehend. Can they understand Shen Shuyan's pain?
He is literally just a university history teacher whose only goal in life is pure peace. We are talking sipping tea, reading books, and just chilling out with zero drama. But since he got married 3 months ago, no shot. His peaceful life turned into an actual war zone.
See, his wife Qin Wanying is a literal goddess in the legal world, and they met at an academic seminar. She was a guest lecturer back then, standing proud and confident up on the stage.
Rocking a perfectly tailored black suit, she radiated this insanely sharp and elegant aura. Her logic was flawless as she quoted law codes left and right. She made boring laws sound so exciting that he immediately thought, man, this woman is breathtaking. Honestly, she was like a cold, untouchable snow mountain that you could only admire from a distance. But plot twist, since their families were old friends, they got set up on a few blind dates. He figured an elite goddess like her would never be into a quiet, boring teacher like him. Just a regular guy, you know? But after hanging out a couple of times, the unexpected happens. She actually agrees to marry him. Honestly, on the day they get their marriage license, he is still in shock. He literally feels like he is dreaming, fully expecting their married life to be super chill and respectful. He thought they would just respect each other's boundaries and live their own quiet lives. She would focus on her massive career, while he quietly focused on his history research. Basically, just two polite roommates living under the same roof. Man, was he wrong. Because who could have guessed what would happen on their very first night together? That is when his nightmare, scratch that, his wild new life officially begins. Picture this, it's their wedding night, and he nervously steps out of the shower. He sees her standing by the massive window, wearing a stunning silk robe with her back turned to him. The moonlight is hitting her just right, showing off her absolutely perfect silhouette. She looks like a literal masterpiece, and he is just standing there thinking he struck gold. He tells himself that even if their marriage is completely quiet, he is the luckiest guy alive. Living a simple life with a goddess like her is honestly way out of his league anyway. So he tiptoes over to the bed, ready to quietly pull back the covers and go to sleep. Suddenly, her cold voice cuts through the quiet room, calling out his name, Shuyan. He quietly answers her, but boom, the very next second, everything changes. She spins around and rushes him so fast that before he can even blink, she is right there. She straight up pins him down onto the bed, leaving our guy completely frozen in shock. Now she is leaning right over him, locking him in with her hands on both sides of his head. Her long black hair falls down like a waterfall, brushing right against his face. She smells amazing, but her eyes do not look cold or professional anymore.
No, she has this intense, hungry look in her eyes as she speaks to him.
She drops the act and sweetly tells him that from now on, he belongs entirely to her. His brain literally short-circuits on the spot, completely unable to process what is happening. Like, is this actually the same cold, untouchable lawyer from earlier? Talk about a complete plot twist. Bro, her cool professional image collapsed instantly. What happened next proved it. That wild night was actually her normal state at home. During the day, she is the ruthless Ice Rose ruling the courtroom, but at night, she dominates him. She completely devours him like a wildfire. Every single morning, Shen drags his completely exhausted body to school. His coworkers think he is happily married. They keep teasing him, but only he knows he is literally being sucked dry. The doctor's voice suddenly pulls Shen back from his painful memories. Mr. Shen? Mr. Shen! He snaps out of it, looking totally dead inside. The doctor pauses for a moment, analyzing that based on his description, this might be a psychological dependency. As a high-profile lawyer, she has to maintain an extremely intense professional image, facing massive mental stress. So when she goes home to the one person she completely trusts, she drops all her guard and shows her most relaxed, primal self. You are basically her stress relief valve. Shen smiles bitterly. A valve? But she is about to break this valve. The doctor asks if they talked. Shen immediately says he tried, just last week. He built up all his courage when she was about to get wild again. He grabbed her hand and got totally serious, calling out to Wanying. He told her they need to talk and should keep some distance. Give each other some space. The doctor asks what she said.
Shen sighs in despair. She actually froze for a second.
But then her eyes lit up and she instantly pinned him down. With a super excited, seductive voice she had never used before, she called him husband. She teased that he really knew how to play, acting as a restrained teacher. And dominant queen, she loved it. The doctor is totally speechless. He has no idea how to respond. Shen shrugs. You see? It is completely useless. In her world, all his resistance is just foreplay. The doctor goes silent. Only the ticking clock fills the quiet office. After a long pause, he finally struggles to speak. Mr. Shen, medically, I cannot help you. I can only suggest you work out more. Eat some nutritious foods. Maybe some animal kidneys for stamina. Completely speechless, Shen walks out of the clinic. The bright sunshine outside does nothing to cure his dark, depressing future. His phone buzzes. It is a text message from Qin Wanying. She sent an office selfie, looking like her usual untouchable Ice Queen self. But the caption was wildly flirtatious, saying she finished her case early. She was leaving work at 5 to wear the shirt he bought her, telling him to wait for her to check his homework tonight.
This is insane. Shen's legs turn to absolute jelly on the street. No shot he can live like this anymore. He has to run away. Gritting his teeth, he turns and walks the exact opposite direction of home.
But before he even walks 200 meters, he stops. Where can he even go? What if she comes home and finds him gone? Will she get mad? She works so incredibly hard at her job. If she gets angry too, what will he do? Shen frustrates himself, scratching his head. His mind is a total war zone, but sheer fear completely wins. Shen Shuyan sighs in absolute defeat, turning around super slowly. He heads back to the house he loves and fears, his steps dragging. Every step feels like walking on glass, so he hesitates at the door. He just leans against the frame, taking deep breaths to calm himself down. Like all he does is teach classes and write papers. Meanwhile, his wife Qin Wanying is out there fighting actual battles. She is way more exhausted and just wants to chill out. He tries to psych himself up to be more understanding of her. But the second he remembers her intense, fiery eyes, his heart sinks.
All that mental prep instantly crumbles to pieces. Honestly, same.
There is no escaping this, so he nervously unlocks the door. Click. The door opens to a completely dark entryway. It is dead silent. Wait, is she not home?
He is absolutely ecstatic, and honestly, who wouldn't be?
He can actually get a peaceful night as he kicks off shoes. He happily hums a tune, heading inside to make some tea. Ready to chill with a documentary, but right as he passes the couch, boom! A shadow suddenly lunges from behind and tackles him straight to the floor. And there is Qin Wanying looking down at him with a grin. She is completely straddling him, looking down with absolute dominance. Like a smug little demon, she cheerfully yells out, "Surprise!" His soul literally leaves his body. Didn't she say 5 p.m.? She gently pinches his nose and leans down to whisper to him. I totally lied, dummy. I came back early just to give you this surprise, hubby. She asks if it's time to check his homework. Her face is dangerously close. At this point, he just closes his eyes. His escape plan is done. Yep, this is definitely going to be another wild, sleepless night. The next morning, his alarm is literally screaming at him to wake. He struggles to sit up, feeling completely broken and sore. His legs are shot, too, and her spot is already empty. There's only a bit of warmth left as the shower runs nearby. Clearly, his overly energetic wife is already up and moving. He has to hold the wall to drag himself inside, pale. With massive dark circles, he looks like he's been completely drained. Just then, Qin Wanying walks out wrapped in a bath towel. Seeing him look like a zombie, she walks over to cup his face. She acts all apologetic, asking if he's too tired from last night. But there isn't a single ounce of real regret in her eyes. It's pure smug satisfaction. What can he even say? He just squeezes out the most forced smile ever, saying it's fine. No way a man admits defeat, right? She kisses his forehead. Then she happily flutters off to her walk-in closet. telling him to hurry up and wash up because breakfast is ready. He watches her walk away, full of energy, while staring at his own half-dead reflection in the mirror.
Giving a massive sigh, he looks at the fancy Chinese breakfast laid out on the table.
Soy milk, fried dough, soup dumplings, and a steaming bowl of kidney soup. Our guy's eye literally starts twitching here. By now, Qin Wanying is already wearing a sharp gray suit.
Her hair is perfectly tied back, with clean makeup completing the look.
Full red lips and sharp eyes. The sweet, passionate woman from last night is completely gone. In her place is the undefeated queen of the courtroom as she elegantly sips her soy milk.
She scrolls through the news on her tablet while giving her husband a direct order.
"Drink up," she says. "I specially made this kidney soup to help you recover."
He silently picks up his spoon, feeling like he's swallowing his own tears.
Low-key heartbreaking. Suddenly, she looks up. "There is a legal charity gala tonight, so you are coming with me." Instantly, he gets a headache. Just a room full of fake people wearing masks and trading empty compliments. He tries to make an excuse about having an academic seminar tonight, but she shuts him down instantly. "Cancel it. You are my husband."
"Who else is going to stand by my side if not you? It is settled."
She tells him her assistant will drop off his suit before grabbing her coat. Walking to the door, she suddenly stops and motions him over with her finger.
Accepting his fate, he walks over as she stands on her tiptoes. She plants a quick kiss on his lips before instantly freezing back into her iceberg mode.
Any warmth vanishes as she coldly tells him to wait for her at home.
Boom! The door slams shut.
Silence. He slumps into his chair, letting out a massive sigh of relief. Being married to her is a total roller coaster. One second, you are flying high, and the next, you are crashing straight to earth.
Sure enough, her assistant delivers his suit later that afternoon.
It is a perfectly tailored black suit, super high-end. Fits his teacher vibe perfectly. By 6 p.m., it is go time. He bites the bullet and takes a cab to the luxury hotel hosting the event. Crystal chandeliers, clinking glasses, and elites everywhere. A regular guy like him feels completely out of place in this wealthy crowd. Then he spots Qin Wanying standing out in a stunning wine-red dress. The dress highlights her pale skin, and her red lips look absolutely fiery.
Seriously, she is built different, a total showstopper.
A crowd of wealthy men surrounds her, all staring with pure admiration and desire. But she plays them effortlessly. Her polite yet cold smile makes her look like a completely different person. He just watches quietly from the corner with champagne. Just then, a super tall guy approaches her. He is handsome, elite, and walks right up to stand beside Qin Wanying. Every move he makes is smooth, exuding pure confidence. Clearly a top-tier rich heir type, he begins speaking to the surrounding crowd. The crowd filters out, leaving only him and Wanying alone. His voice is smooth and magnetic. Wanying, long time no see. You are still as radiant as ever. Instantly, Wanying's smile fades.
Too kind, Attorney Liu. The man just smiles back slyly.
He asks about that massive, troublesome case she took for Tiansheng Group.
He asks if she is down to partner up and work together.
If they do, the entire legal industry will shake. Wanying just smirks. With mockery in her eyes, she shuts him down. I prefer working alone. He doesn't even get mad, just locks his eyes onto her instead. Staring aggressively, he praises her fiery attitude.
He mentions hearing she got married, and honestly, he's curious. Exactly what kind of guy could handle the famous Ice Rose of their industry?
Wanying scans the room and instantly locks eyes with our boy in the corner.
She waves him over, and suddenly, every single person in the room,
including that arrogant Attorney Liu, stares right at him. His scalp goes numb, feeling like he's about to be roasted alive. Biting the bullet, he raises his glass and walks right over. Out of nowhere, Wanying reaches out and intimately wraps her arm around his. With an incredibly sweet smile, she introduces him. "Everyone, meet my husband." Shen Shuyan. The second she clings to him, the tension absolutely spikes. The air in the room completely freezes. The looks on those guys' faces instantly turn from curiosity to pure, unfiltered jealousy, especially Attorney Liu. He looks our guy up and down, barely even hiding his massive disrespect. He raises his glass with a totally fake, forced smile on his face. So this is the famous Mr. Shen, who looks pretty soft and gentle. Nothing like us vulgar guys, our boy just wants to avoid trouble. He just nods politely. Hello, Attorney Liu. Wanying proudly brags about him like he's some kind of ultra-rare prize. Shuyan is actually a university history professor, she says. Lu Jingran fakes a surprised look. Wow, history. Sounds like an easy gig. Totally different from our stressful daily battles in court. A cultured guy like Mr. Shen must find us vulgar. He definitely won't get along with us. The disrespect is incredibly obvious. Wanying's face drops. Before she snaps, our boy gently squeezes her hand. Telling her to stay calm, he turns to Lu Jingran with a smile. He responds calmly. You must be joking, Attorney Liu. History is more than dust. It holds the ultimate secrets of human wisdom and how empires rise and fall. Studying it makes you wise. It might even help with your daily battles. Since most of the legendary wars in history weren't won with brute force, they were won with smart strategy, he says so calmly. It's a gentle but devastating clapback. Lu Jingran's fake smile instantly freezes. He never expected this quiet, soft-looking teacher to strike back. Wanying is absolutely loving this. Her eyes literally light up. She hugs his arm even tighter, pulling herself as close as possible. She clings to him tightly, pressing her body right against his side. Shuyan instantly freezes, barely holding it together. He is low-key begging her to remember they are in public. Suddenly, Lu Jingran glares, his eyes darting back and forth between them. His expression turns incredibly dark before he lets out a cold sneer. He mockingly insults Shuyan, saying talking sweet is not going to cut it. A queen like Wanying actually deserves a powerful man to protect her. Not some weak nerd hiding in an ivory tower reading useless books. Honestly, that is a wild insult, but before Shuyan can even respond, Wanying snaps, her voice turning as sharp and freezing as an icy blade. She warns Xingran that whoever she chooses to marry is her own business. No one asked him to dictate things, especially when it comes to her husband. She knows him better, far better. He is 10 times better than these money-obsessed so-called elites. In fact, she says he is 100 times better before dragging him away. She pulls him straight through the crowded hall all the way out to the balcony. The night wind chills. Wanying finally lets go of his hand and gently straightens his tie. She apologetically tells him to ignore that annoying guy named Lu Jingran. Turns out he is her old rival who tried chasing her back in school. She rejected him, and he never got over it, making today a total mistake. She admits she should not have brought him here, but Shuyan just stares. Seeing her genuine worry, he simply smiles and shakes his head to reassure her. Honestly, he is totally used to getting weird looks since they got married. People judge him all the time, which makes Wanying look at him in confusion. He chuckles, clarifying that he is actually used to everyone being insanely jealous. Hearing this, she completely melts and bursts into a beautiful childlike laugh. She steps forward, wrapping her arms around his waist and burying her face. In a muffled voice, she softly tells Shuyan that he was incredibly cool. Shuyan freezes up again, completely overwhelmed by the sweet warmth of her hug. He awkwardly pats her back, reminding her that people are still watching them. But she just clings tighter, stubbornly saying she does not care who sees. Let them be jealous, because her husband is literally built different anyway. She refuses to hide him away, leaving Shuyan to sigh with a smile. No early sleep tonight, but honestly, having her brag like this is worth it. Especially with Lu Jingran staring at them from afar like a venomous snake. But this guy is definitely not letting this go. Surprisingly, after they get home, Wanying does not tease or bother him at all. Maybe seeing Lu Jingran ruined her mood, so she immediately goes to sleep. She quietly holds him from behind, cuddling him like a sad little kitten. For once, Shuyan gets peaceful sleep and heads to his lectures fully charged. It actually feels a bit weird, and over the next few days, Wanying becomes insanely busy with a massive case for the Tiansheng group. The opposing head counsel is none other than her annoying rival, Lu Jingran. The media goes wild, hyping up this legendary showdown between two top-tier lawyers. Because of this, Wanying starts coming home incredibly late every single night. He wakes up to find she's already gone for work, and even though they barely see each other lately, Her passion for him hasn't dropped even a single %. She keeps leaving crazy suggestive notes right by his pillow,
sending him texts that are honestly too hot to handle, even right in the middle of his lectures.
She even starts mail ordering some incredibly suspicious packages to his school. And then this happens. Our boy Shen Shuyan is literally on the podium explaining Ming Dynasty history when a courier shows up with a massive box. He walks straight up to the classroom door and calls out to the entire room,
asking if Teacher Shen Shuyan is in, and instantly every single student whips their head around to stare at him.
Completely clueless, he just signs for this massive mystery package right in front of his chaotic class.
Obviously, he can't open this in public, so he just shoves it next to his desk for now.
But for the rest of the lecture, yeah, absolutely zero learning is happening. Every eye in the room is glued to that giant box until the bell finally rings.
Shen Shuyan literally grabs the box, runs back to his office, locks the door, and rips it open.
Inside is a super soft, incredibly spicy black lace nightdress. Bro, the design is beyond bold. And right next to it is a card with Qin Wanying's elegant handwriting saying, "Hey, husband. Just imagining you wearing this tonight. Make sure to wait up for me. Love, Wanying." At this point, our guy is completely frozen in absolute shock. Honestly, he wants to grab the box and jump straight out of the window right then and there.
Like, what is she even thinking? He is literally a grown man, not her dress-up doll.
He's so mad he almost shreds the dress, but somehow he just can't bring himself to do it. Face completely red, he hides it in the deepest corner of his cabinet. This is getting out of hand. Just when he's on the verge of a total breakdown, Qin Wanying suddenly announces she is taking a week off. She wants to take him on a vacation, and he just stares at her in pure disbelief. Asking her about her massive law case, she says the prep work is basically wrapped up. It's the perfect time to unwind before trial, she says, happily packing up their suitcases. She is totally hyped, explaining that she booked a gorgeous private villa on a tropical island. Just the two of them, endless sunshine and white sandy beaches. Sounds super romantic, right? Well, our boy is not feeling the romance at all. To him, this sounds like his literal final sentence, a totally isolated island where nobody can hear him scream. Once they are out there, he will be completely at her mercy, with absolutely zero escape. He tries to make one last desperate stand, asking if they can just stay home. No shot. She shuts him down instantly, pointing out how exhausted he looks lately.
Blaming it on his teaching job, saying he absolutely needs to go out and recharge.
He is just thinking, bro, who do you think caused these dark circles in the first place? But of course, he gets packed up and dragged onto the plane anyway. And honestly, the island is gorgeous. Crystal blue waters, perfect skies, and beautiful palm trees everywhere. Their villa even comes with its own private beach and a massive infinity pool. It's pure luxury, but our main character is too stressed to enjoy any of it. The moment they step onto the island, it is like Qin Wanying completely unleashes her final boss energy. By day, she is dragging him across the warm sand in a stunning bikini. Swimming in the ocean, but by night, she gets busy experimenting with that dress he was forced to bring. At this point, our poor boy does not feel like he is on vacation at all. It feels more like he's fighting for survival. By the third evening, he is just lying on a beach chair completely drained when she walks over in a gorgeous white dress. She is holding 2 cocktails, looking absolutely glowing under the warm light of the sunset. She looks absolutely stunning as she asks him if he is tired yet. Wanying hands Shuyan a glass, telling him to take a sip. He takes it, completely drained, and weakly calls out her name. He literally begs her for a single night off from her wild demands.
She just blinks, playing totally innocent. A day off?
Aren't we already on vacation? He sighs, knowing she is playing dumb. Shuyan looks at her with the most desperate, sincere eyes ever. If this keeps up, I will actually die, she just bursts out laughing. Leaning in, she kisses his cheek and tells him she's just teasing. Seeing how exhausted he is, she promises to give him a break tonight. Bro, he feels so relieved he almost cries right then and there. He can't even believe it. She sits beside him, confirming it's real. Leaning on his shoulder, she softly thanks Shuyan for coming along. He works so hard, so she wanted him to finally relax. She goes quiet, then speaks softly. Turns out this trip wasn't just for a relaxing getaway. In a low voice, she admits she just wanted to escape. That snake of a rival Lu Jingren is being way too troublesome. He always strikes from the worst angles, leaving her feeling totally exposed. This is a first. Shuyan has never seen her look this vulnerable. To him, Wanying was always the untouchable, overpowered ice queen. Feeling for her, he gently squeezes her hand, promising it will be fine. She squeezes back, holding on to him like he's her lifeline. Nuzzling into his neck, she looks like a kid looking for safety. Honestly, all his exhaustion fades. She is just deeply insecure. But right as they are having this rare, wholesome moment, a totally unwanted voice ruins the vibe. Shuyan turns around. And there he is, the absolute worst guy, Lu Jingran, looking smug. His hair is perfectly slicked back, wearing that signature annoying grin. That sickening confidence of his makes Wanying freeze instantly. She immediately sits up, all her warmth turning back to ice. She is the Ice Rose again, coldly demanding to know his business. Lu Jingran just smiles, claiming he is here on casual business. He heard the island's nice, so he decided to drop by. Then he looks right at Shuyan with a super provocative stare. Running into them here? Talk about a total nightmare of a coincidence. Shuyan steps up to shield her, knowing this creep did it intentionally. No shot this is random. Lawyer Lu sure has a lot of free time. With the court case looming, he is still out here vacationing. But Lu Jingran just laughs, claiming he has everything under absolute control. He is relaxed, unlike those cowards running away from the trial. Trying to hide on a beach won't save them from reality. Honestly, those words pierce straight through Wanying's tough exterior. Her face goes pale as she stands up, demanding answers from him. She asks what he really wants, but he just plays dumb. Lu Jingran shrugs innocently, saying he only wanted to give her a friendly warning. Our villain Lu Jingran drops the ultimate threat, telling her she is guaranteed to lose the Tiansheng case. He actually has the nerve to say he might show some mercy if she begs him? In your dreams, Qin Wanying snaps, shaking with rage. See you in court. Lu Jingran just shrugs and turns to leave. He looks back at Shen with a smug smile, calling him out directly. A warning, man to man. A freeloading guy hiding behind a woman can never actually protect her. Everything Shen enjoys right now will vanish the second she fails in court. Will he still be this relaxed then? This guy is seriously toxic. He just laughs and walks off, leaving Qin Wanying completely shaken. Her knees buckle, but Shen quickly steps in to hold her steady. He tells her to ignore the trash talk. It's just a cheap mind game. She just bites her lip. Seeing her this vulnerable is low-key heartbreaking, and their vacation is officially ruined. They pack in heavy silence. They catch a red-eye flight back, and she does not say a single word, staring out into the pitch-black night. Shen knows a storm is brewing, and once home, she becomes a different person. No more warmth, no more smiles. She stops talking to him entirely, locking herself away in the study. She buries herself in case files, keeping the lights on until dawn. He brings her food, she ignores it. At best, she takes 2 quick bites before ignoring him again. Strangers living under one roof. Her eyes are completely hollow, looking straight through him like he is a ghost. Their huge bed feels like it's separated by an entire ocean now. Separate edges, zero contact. Honestly, Shen actually feels a brief, long-awaited sense of relief. Finally, some actual peace and quiet to read his books. But that relief does not last. A heavy wave of loneliness hits, and he realizes he hates this silence. He misses her warmth beside him, missing her soft breathing and those chaotic morning routines. The warm morning breakfasts are gone, leaving the house feeling completely dead. Quiet. Terrifyingly quiet. He has grown totally addicted to her chaotic energy and her wild passion. Her clinginess, her entire presence. It was all part of his routine, and now she is completely pulled away. His world feels completely empty. He gets up for a drink and spots a faint light under her door. Holding a cup of warm milk, he quietly pushes the door open. Qin Wanying is fast asleep, buried under a massive mountain of case files.
Her forehead is still creased in stress, looking absolutely exhausted.
Shen silently sets down the milk. He slips off his jacket and gently drapes it over her shoulders. Just as Shen Shuyan's hand is about to touch her, she suddenly snaps awake, asking who's there. She's like a startled hedgehog, instantly on guard, her eyes full of hostility and raw defensiveness. But the second she realizes it's just him, that defensiveness instantly freezes into cold, distant detachment. She coldly asks what he's even doing in her study. Shuyan just holds up a coat, explaining he was worried she'd catch a cold while sleeping. She shuts him down, coldly refusing, before her gaze drifts over to a warm cup of milk. Her frown deepens as she tells him to take his things and never come back without permission. Never stepping to her study again. Honestly, her voice sounds like she's talking to a total stranger. Actually, it's even colder than a stranger, and it low-key breaks Shuyan's heart. It feels like a knife twisting in his chest, leaving him in absolute agony. Hurting for her, he gently calls her name, but she snaps and cuts him off. Get out! Yet there's this tiny hidden tremor in her voice as Shuyan just stands there frozen. Staring at her pale face and bloodshot eyes, he's left with a whirlwind of mixed emotions. With nothing left to do, he quietly picks up the coat and milk and backs out. But right as he shuts the door behind him, he hears something coming from inside. A muffled, quiet gasp. Honestly, this completely shatters him. Like, what did that absolute scumbag Lu Jingran actually do to her? The next day,
Shuyan does something completely out of character and takes the morning off to search the internet.
he digs up every single article about the Tianchen Group lawsuit, and the truth is shocking. Public opinion online has completely turned against his wife. Tons of fake insiders are crawling out of the woodwork, claiming Wang Ying used dirty tactics to win. They're even accusing her of forging evidence while paid trolls control the narrative across forums. Basically painting her as this greedy, cold-blooded witch lawyer with zero moral baseline. It gets worse. Someone actually leaks Shuyan's info, calling him a freeloading toy boy. They claim he only got his cozy college job because of Wang Ying, even posting his photo. They even doxed their home address. Reading those nasty, toxic comments online makes him sick. It makes Shuyan shake with pure rage. There's no shot this isn't coordinated by someone. And that mastermind? It's obviously Lu Jingran. Nobody else would play this dirty. The guy doesn't just want to win in court. He wants to utterly ruin her reputation. That's insanely petty. Shuyan decides he can't just stand by while his wife is targeted. He refuses to let her get crushed. Lu Jingran claims Shuyan could never protect her. He called him a useless freeloader. In the past, Shuyan might have backed down. But now, he's ready to prove that arrogant jerk completely wrong. Sure, Shen Shuyan is just a humble history teacher. He doesn't have the villain's insane wealth or massive political power. But he has his own way of protecting his woman. Taking a deep breath, he gets to work. He logs into the university's database and starts scouring massive global archives. Turns out a historian's meticulous research skills are actually his ultimate cheat code. Lu Jingran wants to play dirty? Fine, Shuyan is about to expose his entire hand. Card by card, he goes full detective mode, frantically digging through records. The guy is an elite law graduate who studied under a legendary legal giant. He has a flawless record, but Shuyan pulls up every single case he's ever won. After analyzing them one by one, he suddenly spots a very interesting pattern. Turns out Lu Jingran always manipulates public opinion while hunting for procedural loopholes. Most of his victories aren't actually clean legal wins on the courtroom floor. Instead, he plays dirty, using underhanded tricks to completely crush his opponent's mental defense. And this is the exact same trash move he is pulling on Qin Wanying right now. All those random rumors he leaked online seem totally disconnected at first glance. But if you actually look closer, they all point to one single target. A crucial financial report that Tianchen Group handed over to Qin Wanying. Lu Jingran's entire goal here? He wants everyone to believe this report is fake, because if that rumor sticks, Qin Wanying won't just lose the lawsuit, she'll face prison time for perjury. Honestly, what an absolute snake! But here is the problem. How was Shuyan supposed to prove this report was real? She wasn't an accountant or a lawyer. She couldn't even read those complex numbers, so she locked herself in the guest room.
2 whole days and nights without a wink of sleep, printing out every single document.
She plastered them all over the walls. Talk about dedication.
Using colored markers, she highlighted everything, desperately trying to connect the dots.
Just as she was about to lose hope, an inconspicuous news photo caught her eye. It was taken a few years ago. A picture of the Tiansheng Group chairman signing a deal with a foreign company.
Right in the background, there was a bookshelf lined with rows of financial ledgers.
And on the side of one book, there was a tiny, blurry logo. It looked incredibly familiar. She bolted upright.
She dashed to her study, digging through piles of her old, dusty books.
Searching frantically until she finally found it in a specific book. An old history book about Republican-era draft banks. There it was, that exact logo. It belonged to an old paper mill that made encrypted ledger paper for major merchants. This workshop had a legendary secret anti-counterfeiting technique. Their paper was treated with a special chemical that revealed hidden watermarks under certain light. Patterns completely invisible to the naked eye. A wild, bold theory flashed in her mind. She immediately called up her old classmate who worked at a museum.
Hey, Ozhao, do me a favor. Help me look up a Republican-era anti-counterfeiting chemical.
She rattled off the formula. Her classmate on the other end was completely baffled. But since she kept begging him, he finally agreed to check. An hour later, old Zhou called back. His voice was literally shaking as he asked her how she even knew about this formula. He said it was a lost top-secret recipe from an ancient draft bank.
She didn't have time to explain, so she cut him off.
Can we still make this chemical today? He said yes, but it would be tricky. But it's absolutely doable. His voice was certain. Great, she said. I am scanning a document to you right now. Test it as fast as you can. See if there are hidden watermarks on it. She had to act fast. After hanging up, she rushed to the study door, hesitating for a split second.
Then she knocked hard. Wanying, open the door!
She shouted that she had something incredibly important to show her.
No response. Qin Wanying, open the door! She pounded harder, basically trying to break the door down. Open up, or she was going to kick it open herself. After a few agonizing seconds, the door finally clicks open from the inside. Wanying stands at the door looking way more exhausted now. With bloodshot eyes, she stares right at him. Her cold, distant stare silently demands what he wants, now. She asks coldly, but our boy stays quiet. He just squeezes right past her and heads straight for her desk. Without hesitation, he grabs the exact financial report that Lu Jingran claimed was forged evidence. Keeping it simple, he says he needs to borrow this right now. She watches him suspiciously, demanding to know what he is doing. Leaving only a simple 2-word promise. To save her, he rushes right back out. With her completely stunned, Shuyan sprints out, clutching that crucial financial report. This single document holds the absolute key to Qin Wanying's entire future. Our boy races to the museum to find Lao Zhou as fast as humanly possible. Slamming the document onto the workbench, he gasps heavily for breath. Lao Zhou puts on his white gloves and carefully picks up the paper. His eyes light up with that classic scholar excitement and intense focus. The scholar asks Shuyan if he is sure, since this looks like ordinary paper. Though he is pretty skeptical, Shuyan urges him to just test it. Lao Zhou finally nods, leading him straight into a completely sealed dark room. Inside, he turns on a weird-looking ultraviolet lamp and carefully adjusts the wavelength. Shining the light directly onto the report, a sudden miracle happens. Under the special glow of the lamp, the plain black and white paper starts changing. Complex glowing details slowly begin to surface right before their eyes. Faint gold, watermark-like patterns begin to slowly glow and shift in the light. Together, they form the highly complex official logo of the legendary Tongsheng Yuan Bank. Lao Zhao gasps in shock. Oh my god, it is the authentic Tongsheng Yuan watermark. This is absolutely insane. And right here, Shuyan can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Against all odds, he came in clutch. The founder of the Tiansheng Group. The founder originally ran old-school banks, and they kept using their traditional family methods of business trust. With their ancient confidentiality rules, this normal-looking financial report, it was actually printed on their exclusive custom-made anti-counterfeit paper. A snake like Lu Jingran has absolutely zero shot of ever knowing this secret. Only a few high-ups know, and Wanying never looked into it out of respect for her clients.
She never double-checked where the paper came from because she only ever cared about the data. Lu Jingran spent so much effort trying to claim this report was forged. But he has no shot of realizing the paper itself is the ultimate proof of truth.
Shuyan eagerly grabs his shoulders, urgently asking Lao Zhou for help.
He urgently needs an official appraisal report with the museum stamp stamped on it right now.
The faster the better, and Lao Zhou is totally down to do it.
This is a major academic discovery, so he will get right to work.
With the final appraisal report in hand, Shuyan races home without stopping. His heart is pounding hard because he is finally going to prove he is no leech.
He is not some useless bookworm. He is built different and protecting his girl.
By the time he finally bursts through the door with the report, it is late at night.
The living room is pitch black, with only a sliver of light under the study door. Her back looks incredibly fragile. Hearing him, she turns and freezes.
A flash of complicated emotion crosses her eyes before quickly turning back to ice.
"Why are you back?" she asks coldly, but Shuyan stays completely silent.
He walks straight up to her holding the crucial appraisal report, and the photos showing hidden watermarks revealed under ultraviolet light.
He slams them onto her desk, telling her to see for herself.
Confused, Qin Wanying frowns and picks up the document to inspect it.
She reads rapidly, her eyes widening more with every single page.
The moment she sees those photos, her legendary icy face completely cracks,
showing a look of absolute shock, and honestly, this payoff is so satisfying.
She snaps her head up, her lips trembling as she asks him.
"What is going on?" she stammers, while Shuyan calmly explains. The founder of Tianxin Group had ancestors running a traditional bank. They always used ancestral security paper, meaning this critical financial report is completely impossible to forge. Basically, Lu Jingran's entire lawsuit is built on a massive, fundamental mistake.
He lost, Shuyan says, his tone completely flat, like stating a simple historical fact.
Dead silence fills the room as Qin Wanying just stares at him in absolute shock.
Her eyes slowly turn red, and the icy armor she wore for so long, that heavy frozen shell, finally begins to shatter piece by piece. She tries to speak, but her throat feels completely blocked up, squeezing out just a single sound after a long silence.
She finally finds her voice, incredibly raspy, asking why he helped her. Especially after she treated him so coldly, Shuyan just stares back.
"Because you are my wife," he declares, adding that Lu Jingran was right.
He is just a school teacher who cannot give her billions or endless wealth.
Nor can he offer her supreme power, but he tells her to remember this. As long as Shen Shuyan is still breathing, nobody will ever bully her. Touch her, and he will fight them to the absolute end.
At that, Qin Wanying's tears finally burst as she completely loses all emotional control.
Like a deeply hurt child, she collapses into his chest and cries aloud.
Her sobs carry all the crushing weight she had been holding inside lately.
All the resentment, fear, and insecurity, while he just holds her tightly.
He lets her tears soak his shirt, never having seen his powerful wife look so vulnerable. It turns out even the strongest queen needs a safe place.
A harbor where she can drop all defenses, and he is that exact harbor.
She cries for a long time until she is completely exhausted.
Only then does she quiet down in his arms, lifting her red, teary eyes.
With a heavy nasal voice, she chokes out an apology to Shuyan. Shuyan gently places a finger over her lips, telling her to say nothing. He understands her stress, how she needed to demand attention just to feel safe, to confirm that his presence meant she still had a secure home. When danger struck, she was simply terrified of dragging him down. So she pushed him away with coldness to carry the burden all alone. She always tries to be strong, so Shen gently cradles her face.
He looks her in the eye. No more carrying burdens alone.
If the sky falls, he will hold it up. And if they get crushed, they go down together. She suddenly bursts out laughing, tears still on her eyelashes. Playfully punching his chest, she barely uses any force. Calling him a weirdo, she smiles as he asks if she is going back to work.
She shakes her head and wraps her arms around him.
Burying her face in his chest, she mumbles that she is done.
Cuddling her husband is all she wants, so he happily scoops her up.
With a gasp, she instinctively clings to his neck.
He gives her a knowing smile, whispering that it is time to sleep. Her face instantly flushes red all the way to her ears.
Shyly hiding in his chest, she avoids his gaze. Mumbling a protest, she lets him carry her to the bedroom.
No wild passion tonight, just pure, gentle warmth between them. They are each other's ultimate cure. Court day arrives, and Shen watches from the gallery as Qin Wanying wears her black robes.
Standing at the defense table, her gaze is unwavering. Main character energy activated. The confident queen is back.
When Lu Jingwan's legal team brings out their supposed evidence,
She simply offers a faint, calm smile.
instead of arguing, she requests an immediate technical appraisal.
Museum experts enter the courtroom with special scanning gear. Everyone watches as the allegedly forged report is examined. Under a special ultraviolet light, a unique watermark suddenly glows.
The courtroom erupts, and Lu Jingwan's face drains of color. He stares at the report in utter, helpless shock. He lost completely, and honestly, seeing this villain get wrecked is so satisfying.
Qin Wanying completely turns the tables, winning the entire case.
She even countersues Lu Jingwan for malicious defamation. With his license revoked for fabricating evidence, his career is finished.
Stepping outside, the warm sun shines down on them. Reporters immediately swarm, but she completely ignores the flashing cameras. Instead, she locks eyes with Shen, cutting through the crowd.
Standing on her tiptoes, she kisses him in front of everyone.
Smiling beautifully, she happily announces that they are going home. He smiles back, grabbing her hand tightly. After surviving this storm, their lives return to normal. But somehow everything feels different.
She is still the fierce, untouchable queen in court.
And he is still the quiet, dedicated teacher. But inside their home, their dynamic has definitely shifted in the best way. She is no longer holding back, clinging to him 24/7. Honestly, Wanying's dependency on Shuyan only grew from there. It is so wholesome. When working in her study, she leaves the door wide open,
Just to sneak glances at him reading in the living room.
total clingy energy, but we love to see it. At night, she stops being that absolute beast of a partner. Instead, she curls up in his arms like a cute little kitten,
Listening to his heartbeat.
To her, that rhythm is the ultimate lullaby. And Shuyan is changing too.
He doesn't shrink away from her touch anymore.
Our boy is finally learning how to actively love her back. He even drops by her law firm with home-cooked lunches.
Seeing her elite coworkers completely lose their minds? Honestly, a major power move.
He even draws a warm bath for her after stressful court days.
Now he genuinely looks forward to her coming home
She sheds the power suit, kicks off the heels, and launches into his arms like a sweet little cannonball. She gushes about winning her cases and folding clueless rivals. Being so unconditionally trusted is pure bliss for him.
Fast forward to their 1-year anniversary, and he is planning a huge surprise.
He gets her favorite white roses and sets them up beautifully. Right on cue, the door opens and Wanying walks in. She stops in her tracks, seeing the roses and flickering candlelight. Stunned, she looks at him and asks what is going on. He just smiles, pulling a velvet box from behind his back. Guess, he teases. Her eyes instantly light up with pure, unhidden joy. Inside is a pair of simple platinum rings, no flashy diamonds. Just their initials, SY and WY, engraved inside. He gently takes her hand and slides the ring on. "Happy anniversary, Lawyer Qin," he whispers, making her eyes well up. Looking down, she teases that it is actually kind of tacky. Classic tsundere lawyer behavior, but her smile says it all. She picks up the other ring and carefully slides it onto his finger. "Happy anniversary to you too, Teacher Shen," she replies. A silent glance, and everything is understood. After dinner, they snuggle on the couch for a movie. It is a cliché romance film, but she is completely hooked. At the sad parts, she leans on him and sneaks a tear. He pulls her close, breathing in the sweet scent of her hair. Total peace. Suddenly, she softly asks if he still remembers when they first met.
He chuckles, remembering her giving a lecture at a law school event. She wore a sharp black suit and looked completely untouchable. He did not even dare to talk to her. She turns to him.
She looks at Shen with those sparkling eyes, asking if he actually knew.
Our boy is completely stunned because back then, his palms were literally sweating.
Qing shyly admits that it was actually her very first time giving a public lecture. She was terrified of totally ruining it, even though she looked completely calm. Her heart was beating like crazy until the exact moment she saw him.
Shen is totally surprised by this, but she just nods and confirms it.
He was sitting in the third row, right by the window, bathed in beautiful sunlight and listening so incredibly closely.
She watched him nodding along and taking detailed notes, and in that massive crowd, she only saw him. It felt like he was the single person in the room truly listening, which instantly calmed all her nerves.
It is actually so wild that they had this deep connection before they even met. With their pasts already beautifully linked, she snuggles closer into his warm embrace.
She is acting so cute here, admitting why she immediately agreed to their blind date.
The second she saw it was him, she said yes to the setup without a single doubt. She knew this man would always protect her, and hearing this confession absolutely melts Shen's heart with warmth. Our boy leans down to gently kiss her forehead, softly asking if she finally feels safe with him now.
She looks up, her eyes incredibly sultry. She playfully asks what he thinks, leaning in to press her soft lips against his. This kiss hits completely different. There is no rush, no aggressive demand for control.
None of that typical possessive energy, just pure, deep tenderness that goes straight to the soul.
The kiss breaks, leaving her breathless.
With her cheeks blushing deeply, she whispers right into his ear, teasingly calling him Teacher Shen. She giggles that eating too many kidneys makes a man too hot-blooded. It takes him a hot second to get the joke, leaving him totally speechless. Shen raises an eyebrow, prompting her as she wraps her arms around his neck. Her eyes go dreamy, a mischievous little smirk playing in her voice.
She tells him that tonight it is up to Lawyer Qing to help him cool down that hot blood.
Our boy just laughs helplessly because some traits are definitely hardwired deep into her soul. Honestly, this dynamic is amazing, and our guy is definitely not backing down tonight.
He flips their positions to pin her down, staring straight into those gorgeous eyes full of starlight.
He smiles softly, warning her that they will see who actually ends up getting cooled down tonight. Outside, the moonlight is quiet. Inside, pure fire. Shen knows his future with his beautiful ice princess lawyer is going to be incredibly long and happy.